We know that when you're a comedian, you take inspiration from pretty much anything and everything, including your parents, which is what Alia Rasul did after finding out her dad landed in the hospital during one of his beloved karaoke performances.
So they took him in an ambulance to the hospital. Apparently, he'd had a heart attack. And I was like, Mom.
Did he hit the note, though?
The doctors checked him out, and the prognosis was he'd sung his heart out.
So it's like a dad joke and a joke about your dad at the same time. It's part of Rasul's new documentary short called 15 Ways My Dad Almost Died. It's a film, it starts off funny, but it soon uncovers a dark chapter in history that has not had a lot of attention until now. Alia Rasul is joining us this morning to explain. Good morning, great to meet you in person.
Hey, great to be here.
That joke that you were just making there was heard the first time that you joked about your dad, the very first time you decided to take the risk, tell a joke about your parents. And you were nervous to share it with him because it's a joke about your dad to an audience. How did he react when you told it to him?
Honestly, he loved it. My dad loves being the center of attention.
Okay.
That's why he's the karaoke king. So, you know, like at any fam jam, he's the one in the middle of the room crooning away.
So he must love this entire documentary that you and I are about to chat about now.
Yeah, I definitely went up, but I think I'm his favorite child now.
Oh, well played. Well done. As the title suggests, you learn that he's cheated death more than one time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're very funny. Some of them involve taking a bath at the Waldorf Astoria. What happened there?
Yeah, so one of his ways that he almost died was that he was doing a bit of self-care at the Waldorf Astoria because he wanted to be like Imelda Marcos.
Yeah.
And just as he got out of the bath, the ceiling fell where he was. And so, you know, and then the hotel just gave him a box of chocolates to say sorry.
That was it? No free room, nothing?
No.
You know, what I love about this, Alia, is that it reminds me of talking to anybody talking to their parents. They'll be chatting away randomly about something, and then they'll drop in stories like, I almost died. But at one point, your dad does just this, but it has a really serious turn. He says, I almost stepped on a landmine. And it's a scratch moment because that's when it shifts from just your dad's story to history and a seemingly forgotten chapter. It was 1974 in the Philippines. This is a period of time maybe not a lot of people in Canada know about.
Yeah, it's the Hollow Siege. It's when the government of the Philippines battled against the Moro National Liberation Front, who are separatists, ultimately. So they took over the town, and the military was trying to take it back. So it's about like a period of 7 days, and my dad and his siblings and his cousins were stuck there. My dad was 16 at the time, and so basically was dodging bullets left, right, and center. So I think ways 3, 4, 5, and 6 were just like gunshots, and and thankfully he survived. You know, he saw. It's funny because he would tell me that story about the landmine when I was young. It was only till we started to really dig in for this doc where I was like, why was there a landmine?
Right.
And that's when the story came out. And when we research it, there's not a lot because it was during a media blackout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's why we had to animate some things because there wasn't enough material.
And I thought, you ask in the documentary, you say to your dad, why have you never explained it this way before? And he said, I think I was just trying to forget.
Yeah.
There's a scene where you're quite emotional and you're quite upset after hearing the stories from your dad that you had never heard before. And initially, this was about getting material for comedy, right? Because it works, but it pulled you down a different path of understanding. So what did putting together this film do for you and for your relationship with your dad?
I think it made me and my dad closer, one, but I think it really made me reflect on the responsibility there is when it comes to bringing our parents' stories forward. Because with comedy, it's easy to get reductive about it. Yeah. But when I realized how much he went through so that I can tell his stories, it really makes me feel a little bit more, just responsible. Like, we have to take care and cherish their stories and tell them thoughtfully and meaningfully.
I love that not only did you take the time to do that with your parent, but you shared it with us as well in a beautiful way that puts him the center of attention, but also is thoughtful for us as well. Thanks so much. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
A reminder, the documentary short is called 15 Ways My Dad Almost Died. If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.